Well, everyone, the D23 Expo is upon us, the 3-day fan convention that happens once every 2 years, where Disney drops a boatload of news on us. So how is this event going to unfold? The Expo officially starts tomorrow at the Anaheim Convention Center and will last till Sunday. Friday is the day where we'll be hearing about all the Disney Plus streaming service stuff that is launching November 12th here in the United States. The Disney Plus streaming service. We'll hear about new things that are coming to that service. Saturday is the day we'll have the Giant Disney Studios panel, where we'll likely get lots of new details on those currently untitled Disney Studios projects, those upcoming movies in the coming years. We'll probably get some new trailers, like for Star Wars Episode 9, which would be pretty awesome. Also on Saturday, Disney is hosting a panel on a secret Walt Disney Company project, and there's a lot of speculation about that we'll talk about in a minute. And then Sunday is the big day for us here on this channel, because it's the day we get the parks panel, the single biggest news day for Walt Disney World. We get once every 2 years. So I've spent the last few weeks talking to a lot of sources, a lot of people, and I'm going to try to give you my most accurate, best possible play-by-play predictions on how this expo is going to play out, how it's going to go down as far as Disney parks news goes. Real quick, make sure you're subscribed with those notifications on, because over the next 72 hours, we are going to be dropping a boatload of videos covering all the Walt Disney World announcements Disney makes at the expo in real time. It is going to be absolutely epic. All right, so here are my predictions. Thursday, the day this is being posted today, is the media preview for the expo, where the media gets a look at the expo show floor. I have this vision in my mind where we are going to see a video of Bob Chapek, the parks chairman, at the parks section of the expo show floor, where he'll do a curtain unveil like he did last expo for the Galaxy's Edge model, but this time it'll be for a scale model of the entire Epcot overhaul. That is my hope. We already know this fall, the Odyssey in Epcot is going to become an Epcot Overhaul preview center, and that'll very likely include a large-scale model of the project. So I think it's going to be unveiled on the expo show floor today, and then be available to look at throughout the expo, and then once the expo is over, it'll get shipped off to Orlando for its installation in the preview center in Epcot. Also on the show floor, we might have some Disneyland stuff to look at, perhaps a model for the new Spider-Man ride, or the concept for the all-encompassing Marvel area coming to the resort. That'd be pretty awesome. Then the first official day of the expo, Friday, we likely won't have any Disney parks news, with the focus on Disney Plus. Saturday, we have an Imagineering panel, but I don't expect us to be getting much of any news out of that panel. Let me know what you guys think. And then also on Saturday, we have the thing everyone has been talking about, the secret Walt Disney Company project. Could it be a new Disney airline, a new international resort, a 5th park for Walt Disney World, maybe some sort of new streaming hardware as part of Disney Plus? Maybe it's going to be a panel about the big Disney Cruise Line developments that are coming, like announcing the new private island Disney just purchased alongside Castaway Cay. Maybe it'll be stuff about the new Disney Cruise Line ships, or could it be something super lame, like we're going carbon neutral or something like that people at a fan event really wouldn't care about? It would be better suited for the annual shareholders meeting. Safe to say there are a lot of theories floating around, but those are definitely the main ones. It could be something really big, or something that's like an internal project that's really disappointing. Personally, I think it's going to be a consumer-related announcement. Disney knows their audience. They're at a fan convention. They're not going to be talking about how their company is, doing more green initiatives or stuff. That's stuff that Disney would do at the shareholders meeting, where that's the sort of people who ask those sort of questions and want to hear about that stuff. But this is a fan event, a fan convention, so I do suspect it will be something that Disney is announcing that the fans would be excited about. So it's something for us. But the thing is, we really don't have to worry about speculating on this one too much, because if you look on the schedule, it says Disney will be unveiling the subject of the panel on August 22nd, which is today. It's likely going to be part of the media preview today for the expo. So stay tuned, because there's probably going to be another video here tonight on Mickey Views where we'll talk about all of that. Chances are the secret project isn't parks related, but if it is, it's likely going to be about the cruise line with the new ships and the new private island, the new private island port, because Disney likely won't have enough time to go into a lot of detail on those projects, given how full the parks panel is already going to be on Sunday. So it would make sense to have a separate area to put a focus on some of those big projects Disney's doing on the cruise line end. And then we finally arrive at Sunday, where we have the big moment, the parks panel itself. Unlike the last parks panel where it was new project announced after new project, I think this parks panel this year is going to be more elaboratory than anything else, meaning taking things that we already know exist, like the space restaurant, the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster, the play pavilion coming to the Wonders of Life, a lot of these new projects that we know exist that are coming to Epcot, but we'll actually get new details, new information on them. A name for the space restaurant, new concept art of all these attractions, perhaps images of the projection domes that have been installed inside the Guardians of the Galaxy ride building with the coaster track being built through them. That would be absolutely awesome to see some photos of that. That'd be so exciting. Then they're going to talk about the overhaul itself, and I think it's going to start with the branding. Disney has already teased they're bringing back the classic Epcot pavilion logos, and they're going to be unveiling new ones for the new pavilions at the expo itself, and I'm really excited to see what Disney does there. I'm very optimistic those designs are going to be awesome, and that brings us to my hot take, which is Epcot is going to be no more by the time this expo is over. And what I mean by that is that tacky 2000s lowercase Eisner era multicolored Epcot logo, that is going to be gone by the time this expo is over. That is going to be retired, and we are going to be getting a full new rebranding where they're going to bring back that original Epcot symbol, which is going to be so awesome. Disney's been teasing this for a while. If you look at the new entrance art for the park, you can see all those little Epcot symbols all over the place, featured everywhere. Disney's already changed some signage from that Eisner era Epcot logo back to the original Epcot symbol instead. Even more so, I think it's a possibility we could see the park's name change completely from the lowercase Epcot back to the all caps Epcot Center, or at the very least Epcot all caps. On various permits over the past 2 years, some places Epcot has been labeled internally as Epcot World Center in all caps. I think if Disney went with something like this, it'd be because they want to emphasize the international aspect of the World Showcase inside the park name itself. I think Epcot Center or just Epcot will be better than Epcot World Center. Let me know what you guys think. I think for several reasons Disney will do this Epcot rebranding and perhaps go back to the original Epcot Center name. For merchandise, for refreshing the current tired Epcot branding, and for appealing to locals and Epcot fans with something we definitely want that is sure to get a massive reaction at the expo itself. Then they're going to talk about the new layout for the park. The entrance area, they're likely going to give us concept art for the new display area that's coming to the outside of the park entrance, where they're going to display the Leave a Legacy monolith plaques. And I think they're going to break the news. We'll break it early right now. This isn't official. This is mostly just rumor, but I've been hearing from many independent sources for over a year now about how Disney is thinking of doing something new with the Leave a Legacy prints themselves, where on the new Leave a Legacy display, Disney wants to reprint those photos, those laser engravings of all the people who got their photos taken as part of the Millennium Celebration, and display those photos on a new material and in a larger size, so redo the laser printing and all of that. The problem with this idea is the company who did the original laser printing on the original engravings, they went bankrupt. So the question is, does Disney still have the original photos, the original copies of all the guests who got their photos taken? And if they do, we could get a really cool new look for the Leave a Legacy display outside the park entrance. And if they don't, then Disney's just gonna have to figure out a way to reorganize the existing plaques from the old monoliths on this new display. And then we're gonna see this art that we got earlier this year of the entrance area. And Disney's gonna talk about how they're already doing this entrance stuff, and it's gonna be done quite soon, and how they're really doing it quickly, which is definitely very exciting and true. Maybe if Disney wants to be really up to date, although I suspect the presentation is already finalized, Disney could show the current look at the de-tiled Epcot fountain. If you look at this photo from Bio Reconstruct, you can actually see, now that the tiles have been removed, you can see the footprint for where the original iconic Epcot spires went. So excited to see those come back with the original logo. That's what makes me think we are going to see the original Epcot Center name return as well, because Disney is definitely doing a lot of branding decisions that are trying to appeal to the locals and Epcot fans, and I think people will be very excited about all of that. Another prediction about the entrance stuff, I think we might get a new piece of art of the entrance area, but from the guest eye level instead of just an overhead shot, where at the guest eye level in the concept art, they can really show off those Epcot spires and the new fountain in front of Spaceship Earth. Also, judging by the bird's eye art, in the middle of the 3 Epcot spires this time, there might be a fountain feature where there's like a water spout in the middle there that then splashes down as all the water slopes into the lower part of the fountain we've always had. That would definitely be cool, but maybe not when it's super windy and that water would be splashing on a guest guests and stuff. So we'll have to see if that bit of concept art actually comes to fruition when Disney implements, brings back the spires and everything like that. We'll just have to wait and see. And then we'll have the rest of the Epcot Spine project announcements. The new layout coming to the Innovations area, announcing the demolition and new layout for Innovations West, which is already getting prepped for demolition as we speak. The things that are inside that building are closing early next month. So we're going to see that all unfold quite quickly here following the expo. We're likely going to hear about festival spaces invading Future World for increased guest revenue attempts by Chapek. This is going to be one of those times during the panel where the pavilion logo's coming back and maybe going back to the original Epcot Center name and Epcot Rename and bringing back the original logo will definitely make these more profit-motivated announcements palatable. At the very least, a huge announcement would be the refurbishment to Spaceship Earth as part of the overhaul, although I don't know they're ready to announce that yet. We'll definitely be able to tell if it's happening though, because in the new Epcot Overhaul model, we're likely going to see the VIP area and the post-show area for Spaceship Earth, that entire building gone. So people are going to be like, hey, what are you doing with Spaceship Earth? You're getting rid of all that stuff. What are you going to do in the meantime? Are you refurbishing Spaceship Earth? So they're probably going to have to talk about it just based on the nature of this spine project, which definitely hinges on refurbishing Spaceship Earth. So we'll have to see how that goes. What I'm personally praying for is the announcement of a new Fountain of Nations by the port of entry, like we saw in the original Epcot Overhaul blue sky art that was featured at the last expo. We should get some details on the Play Pavilion coming to the Wonders of Life, as well as an update on the Space Restaurant as we mentioned earlier. And then we have the World Showcase. A rumor that has been heating up and stayed heating for a long time is the rumor of a Mary Poppins themed attraction coming to the UK Pavilion. Now, according to Jim Hill, the scale of this project is very small. I can confirm from my own sources this project is still very much alive. It's either going to be an extremely small Mary Poppins small spinner ride like a carousel, because all they have to work with is that area where British Revolution currently plays. They don't really have anywhere else to put it, because if they want more space, they have to knock down the extremely profitable event space with the Millennium Village building that is behind the UK Pavilion. It currently landlocks the UK Pavilion from getting any significant build out, any significant new ride, and I don't think that Disney wants to get rid of that event space just yet. But we were saying the same things about the Wonders of Life, and here Disney is doing something new with it, and it's no longer festival space. So it's really a question of, is Disney going to do something? Are they going to get rid of the Millennium Village building? And if they are, we could be in for a bigger Mary Poppins attraction, but chances are it is just going to be a carousel. And then the other big possibility for Epcot, a Brazil pavilion coming to the World Showcase. It's been on the D23 Expo predictions ballot for what feels like 10 years now. Could this be the year? Also, we should get more details on the new Epcot fireworks shows. We already know a lot about the interim fireworks show, Epcot Forever. What we don't know about is the name for Illumination's permanent replacement coming in 2021, Project Kappa, which is the internal code name for the permanent replacement to Illuminations that we broke right here for you last year. And you might be saying, Brayden, what about the other parks? What other parks? This expo is going to be about Epcot. Word we're hearing is Disney is not ready to announce the 50th anniversary stuff. Insider Martin on the WDW Magic forums was saying how they like to have everything they announce at once be harmonious, and with all the Epcot focus in Walt Disney World and all the Marvel focus in Disneyland, this might not be the spot to announce the 50th anniversary stuff, because when Disney does announce that, they want it to be the highlight. It is going to be the centerpiece when they talk about the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. If we do hear about Magic Kingdom projects for the 50th. We don't have enough time to get another ride. Tron is the ride that we are getting for the 50th, but there is time for a new show. And if we do get a new show announced, we have the former Stitch's Great Escape area, those theaters that are hungry for something new in Tomorrowland. And as much as I hate to say it, the other possible spot is Moana coming to the Tiki Room. That is definitely a possibility. Disney refuted the rumor that Moana was replacing the Tiki Room, but Disney never said anything about Moana coming to the Tiki Room alongside the Tiki Birds. Adventureland and Moana, they are like magnets. No matter what, at some point they are going to come together. So the question is that time now? Hollywood Studios, there's just too much unsureness around Galaxy's Edge right now. I'd be genuinely shocked if we hear anything major about Hollywood Studios at this event. Galaxy's Edge is only phase 2 of 4 in the grand Hollywood Studios expansion. The first stage was Toy Story Land. The second phase was Galaxy's Edge. If we do get lands announced for what is replacing the old animation courtyard area and also the counter service area on the left side of Sunset Boulevard, eventually that's all going to be lands. It'll likely be a Monsters Inc. mini land if Disney has something to announce, although that rumor seems to be dead. It does not seem to be an active project. I personally think it's going to come back to life, or perhaps already has, because the head of Pixar now, Pete Docter, if he has any say in what Pixar stuff gets to be implemented in the parks, he created and directed Monsters Inc. And it would likely include the laugh floor in that mini land, which would free up space in Tomorrowland for a new offering and more attendance spikes in the Magic Kingdom in the future. Other questions in Hollywood studios are, what about Indy? You know, he's getting a new movie on the way, Indiana Jones 5. Maybe Indiana Jones moves to the Animal Kingdom. Also, what about Aerosmith? That can't last much longer. What's going to happen there? What about a Cars area? An indoor version of Radiator Springs Racers was originally supposed to be phase 4 of the Hollywood Studios expansion project after Toy Story Land, Galaxy's Edge, and Monsters, Inc. What are Disney's plans now? My guess is we are not going to find out right now. This is not the time. My guess is we're going to get the 50th anniversary details, a lot of that stuff near the end of this year at a future event near the end of the year in Walt Disney World, and any future Hollywood Studios plans will likely be announced in 2020 or perhaps even beyond. Moving to the Animal Kingdom, there's an expansion pad for Pandora, an insanely successful land. The question is, how long can that go being underutilized? Definitely a possibility of something being announced there, especially considering Disney now owns the property Avatar with their acquisition of 20th Century Fox, who previously owned it, so we'll see what happens there. The other thing in the Animal Kingdom, Dinoland USA is legitimately falling apart right now. Earlier this summer, Primeval Whirl went down for an unscheduled refurbishment, which was due to a broken piece of infrastructure, a critical piece of infrastructure. So Disney had to close the attraction, and the company that built the ride, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. They're bankrupt. So how is Disney ever going to get that replacement part? It was theorized that maybe Disney could get someone to manufacture it, or maybe they can find it somewhere. And clearly, there have been a lot of holdups on this front because Disney has had to keep pushing back the projected reopening for the attraction. So the question is, how much longer can that cycle continue where Disney waits for that part to arrive and then it doesn't, and then Disney has to push back the opening? How longer can that continue until Disney says, you know what, it's not worth it, tear it down, in which case, especially if there's an opportunity for an IP tie-in with something like Indiana Jones, with Bob Chapek being the current parks chairman, I think we could definitely see something new come to Dinoland USA. It could definitely be a possibility. Or maybe something sort of like they just do like a soft retheme and update some attractions. It'd be interesting to see what they would do, because it seems like some of these projects lately, Disney's been going on the cheaper end, or they go on the extremely expensive end, like $400 million for the Guardians coaster, but then Pixar Pier, they just repaint some stuff. So it's really hard to see as far as the budget goes, what gets the big budget and what gets the tiny budget. I really wish everything would be more in the middle and we get some more traditional budgeted stuff where it's just a quality attraction, a quality new land, stuff like that, where it's not, you know, trying to go all out or trying to do the bare minimum, which does seem to be what's been going on lately as far as these projects go. So let me know what you guys think about all of those predictions. Be sure to subscribe with those notifications on, because we've got some massive announcements from Disney about to drop over the next 72 hours. It's just going to be an avalanche of news. It's going to be awesome, and we'll be here to cover all of it right here. I have one other prediction, and it is Walt Disney Transportation related, but I don't want to jinx anything, and it might not be ready to announce till later this year or early next. So I'm gonna save that one for the time being, but we'll see what happens at this expo. For real-time updates on the news while I'm producing these videos, because what's gonna happen is Disney will drop a story, I'll start making a video, but in the interim, you can follow us on Twitter to get updates on what exactly is going on at the event. And if you'll be there and you want to be a Mickey Views photo correspondent, you can send us some pictures. Thank you all so much for watching. I just want to put this out in the universe before this is over and the expo actually begins, just in case we do get 50th anniversary stuff. Disney, please, please give us a new nighttime parade in the Magic Kingdom for the Magic Kingdom 50th. Please, please, please. I miss Spectro Magic so much. Live from the Mickey Views Magic Studio at the D23 Expo set. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you very soon. This is Brayden. Have a magical day.